Jai Sai Ram, Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 6, Part 3. From the next year 1913, the items in the program of Ramanavami began to increase. Radha Krishnamayi started a Ram Sapta, singing the glory of God's name continuously, day and night for 7 days. From 1st of Chaitra, for this, all devotees took part by turns, and she also joined it, sometimes early in the morning. As Ramanavami festival is celebrated in many places all over the country, the difficulty of getting a Haridas was felt again. But 5 or 6 days before the festival, Mahajani met accidentally Balabuva Malik, who was known as Modern Tukaram, and got him to do the Kirtan that year. The next year, 1914, another Balabuva Satarkar of Brihatsiddha Kavate, district of Satara, could not act as a Haridas in his own town as plague was prevailing in his town, and so he came to Shirdi. With Baba's permission, which was secured through Kaka Sahib Dikshit, he did the Kirtan and was sufficiently recompensed for his labor. The difficulty of getting a new Haridas every year was finally solved from 1914 by Sai Baba, as he entrusted this function to Dasganu Maharaj permanently, and since that time he has been successfully and creditably conducting this function up till now. Since 1912, this festival began to grow gradually year by year. From the 8th to 12th of Chaitra, Shirdi looked like a beehive of men. Shops began to increase. Celebrated wrestlers took part in wrestling bouts. Feeding of the poor was done on a grander scale. Hard work and sincere efforts of Radha Krishnamayi turned Shirdi into a Sansthan. Paraphernalia increased. A beautiful horse, a palanquin, chariot, and many silver things, pots, buckets, pictures, mirrors, etc. were presented. Elephants were also sent for the procession. Though all this paraphernalia increased enormously, Sai Baba ignored all these things and maintained his simplicity as before. It is to be noted that both the Hindus and Mohammedans have been working in unison in both the processions, and during the entire festival there had been no hitch or quarrel between them at all so far. First, about 5,000 to 7,000 people used to collect, but that figure went up to 75,000 in some years, and still there was no outbreak of any epidemic or any riots worth the name during that so many past years. Repairs of the masjid. Another important idea occurred to Gopal Gund. Just as he started the Urus or fair, he thought that he should put the masjid in order. So, in order to carry out the repairs, he collected stones and got them dressed, but this work was not assigned to him. This was reserved to Nana Sahib Chandorkar, and the payment work for Kaka Sahib Dikshit. First, Baba was unwilling to allow them to have these works done, but with the intervention of Mahalsabadi, a local devotee of Baba, his permission was secured. When the payment was completed in one night in the masjid, Baba took a small gadi for his seat, discarding the usual piece of sackcloth used till then. In 1911, the Sabha Mandap, the courtyard, was also put in order with a great labor and effort. The open space in front of the masjid was very small and inconvenient. Kaka Sahib Dikshit wanted to extend it and put on it roofing. At great expense, he got iron posts and pillars and trusses and started the work. At night, all the devotees worked hard and fixed the posts, but Baba, when he returned from Chavdi next morning, uprooted them all and threw them out. Once it so happened that Baba got very excited, caught a pole with one hand and began to shake and uproot it, and with the other hand caught the neck of Tatya Patil. He took by force Tatya's pet and struck a match, set it on fire and threw it on the pit. At that time, Baba's eyes flashed like burning embers. None dared to look at him. All got terribly frightened. Baba took out a rupee from his pocket and threw it there, as if it were an offering on an auspicious occasion. Tatya also was much frightened. None knew what was going to happen to Tatya, and none dared to interfere. Bagoji Shinde, a leper devotee of Baba, made a little bold advance, but he was pushed out by Baba. Madhavrao was similarly treated, he being pelted with brick pieces. So all those who went to intercede were similarly dealt with. But after some time, Baba's anger cooled down. He sent for a shopkeeper, got from him an embroidered peta, and himself tied it on Tatya's head, as if he was being given a special honor. All the people were wonderstruck to see this strange behavior of Baba. They were at a loss to know what enraged Baba so suddenly and what led him to assault Tatya Patil and why his anger cooled down the next moment. Baba was sometimes very calm and quiet and talked sweet things with love, but soon after, with or without any pretext, got enraged. Many such incidents may be related, but I don't know which to choose and which to omit. I therefore refer them as they occur to me. In the next chapter, the question whether Baba was a Hindu or a Mohammedan will be taken up, and his yogic practice and powers and other matters will be dealt with. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Jai Sai Ram.